Randy Andrews. I am 44 years old and I achieved the rank of sergeant twice. First in the Army and then in the Air Force. From November 97 to June 2012, so 16 years. Side story, 1980, and I was born. The hospital kept treating me for yellow jaundice. My dad was on the road, being a black man. There was no black men and white women relationships in Newfoundland in the 80s that they were aware of. Dad was on the road, so they didn't see the black man being the father, so they kept treating me for yellow jaundice. And of course, once Dad showed up at the hospital and they saw that he was black, they took off running and immediately stopped the yellow jaundice training, or medicating. So again, 1980, that's how it started. We were living in an area in St. John's that is financially on the lower end. So when you get the population of kids that are poor and don't know better, it's easy to take frustrations out on someone who looks different. So growing up in the 80s, I had one Chinese kid in a class in all my schools. I was the brown kid. In my area, it was easy to make fun of the brown kid. It was easy to make fun of burnt toast. I had good and I had bad. My dad, who's black, was also a little racist towards white people. He was prejudiced. He was like an Archie Bunker. So I had both extremes, even though he's married to a white woman, my dad didn't like white people, really. So it was interesting to say, growing up in that dynamic. I joined the military for a couple of reasons. The first one being my sister joined the military ahead of me. I saw the uniform, I was intrigued. I then had a father and a sister tell me that I couldn't do it because I wouldn't be able to have someone yell at me and tell me to do this, and I would respond. So they kept telling me, you wouldn't be able to do it. So again, with another close friend of mine, we sat there talking, what can we do to get out of here? Let's join the military. When I first joined, I joined in the Army in '97 as a combat engineer. Combat engineer in the Canadian military are in charge of explosives, mines, demolitions, roads, water purification. I did that for 9 years where I achieved the rank of sergeant, one of the earliest promoted sergeants at an age of 22. And I then achieved the rank of sergeant, but I was a demolition instructor, I was a mine warfare instructor, I was a water purification instructor, and I then re-mustered or changed trades to the Air Force because I eventually went on one exercise where we were all going into the field for 6 weeks and it was raining and muddy, and this one guy was getting off a plane and he had a suitcase and they were going to a hotel. And I said, what trade are you? And he said, I'm a load master. I'm a traffic tech, but I'm a load master. And this is what we do. You go to the field, we go to hotels. So I came out of that exercise and I said, well, I'm going to go traffic tech, Reg Force, and I'm going to travel around with a suitcase instead of a rucksack. And that's exactly what I did. I joined the Air Force in 2006. I got posted to Trenton, Ontario, and you have to have a minimum of 2 years experience in the Air Force at a certain trade as traffic tech in Trenton in order to be hand selected to be a traffic tech. And it took me 18 months, and 6 months prior they said Canada purchased 4 C-17 aircrafts, which are the largest cargo moving aircrafts we have, and they decided to hand select 4 people to be able to go down to Oklahoma to do that loadmaster training. And even though I needed 2 years, I got it in 18 months. And I continued to fly until 2012 when I was medically released. The military has brought me to numerous places around the world. The Army brought me to the places that no one really wants to go, and the Air Force brought me to places where everyone wants to go. I've been every province in Canada with the military, just about every state in the US. I've been to all of Europe, I've been to South America, I've been to Australia, I've been to Of course, you want to talk about Southwest Asia. I've been to Afghanistan, Iraq. I've been that side of the country. It's kind of brought me everywhere. I know my father joined the military in 1957. He joined the RCRs. Him and three of his close friends. They left Newfoundland, went to Cornwall, Ontario in 1957 for basic training. He became a double gold glove boxer in the military. His brother, which is 3 years older than him. My dad joined the military in 57 to 60. His brother, his older brother, joined in 1954, and he was a airborne, meaning he jumped from airplanes, paratrooper in the military. I know that in 1960, my dad was on parade, a change of command parade, when they were doing the full dignitaries. They had the 21 gun salute, they had the entire base. And my uncle and his unit were supposed to jump out of the plane and land on the parade square when his chute opened late. And he had broke his legs, back, lost teeth, and that was all in front of my dad on the parade square in 1960. My dad released 4 months later. My sister joined the military in 1995. She did basic training, she became a medic, and she was posted, or she was with 1 Royal Newfoundland Regiment. I joined the military in 1997, and my sister was the medic on my basic training, where she got to see me fail miserably in a swim test. She carried on, did her training in Aldershot. She came back and was an inspirational or a big part of the medical unit on base and at 1 Newfoundland Regiment. I have 2 kids, one a stepdaughter who just turned 17 today, and I have an 8-year-old son. Happy birthday, Addison. The 17-year-old Addison wants to be a doctor. Lincoln is 8 years old, and of course, I'm almost certain he will join the military because it's in our DNA. As much as his mother says she don't want him to, and as much as you can say once he hits 17, 18 years old, I'm almost sure he will join the military. I would say that the Canadian Forces offers hundreds of trades. You think of something that you want to do in the civilian life, the military has a trade for that. So I would expect them, or I would tell them to, sure, if you want to join the military, I would promote it, but I would promote them doing their research, sitting down with the recruiting people and saying their likes, not just when I joined the military, it was like, do you like outside? Do you like camping? Yes, okay, join the Army. And then I was in the Army 9 years. When you find out that there's electricians, plumbers, refrigeration techs, traffic techs, people traveling the world, every trade, and then they get out of the military and they're an electrician, they're a plumber, but you join the Army, you get out of the Army, I just shot weapons and dug holes for my career. So I would say yes, the military will bring you wherever you want, and they're there for you if you get injured. As an injured veteran, the system has certainly worked for me. I would just say, do your due diligence, meet with a recruiter, and pick something that you really will love. Because when you're in, it's so hard to get out, it's so hard to change trades. So find something you love and do it.